Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Joe Don Baker was a commanding American actor born on February 12, 1936, in Groesbeck, Texas. Known for his towering 6 feet 2 inches frame and intense screen presence, he gained fame for his portrayal of real-life Sheriff Buford Pusser in the 1973 cult classic Walking Tall. The role became iconic during the 1970s wave of vigilante justice films and cemented Baker's status as a tough guy legend. Throughout his prolific career, he appeared in nearly 60 films, including standout roles in Charlie Varick, Cape Fear, and The Natural. He also starred in 3 James Bond films, playing both villain and ally, a rare feat in the franchise's history. Before acting, Baker played college football and served in the U.S. Army, later refining his craft at the Actors Studio in New York. His range extended into comedy and television, including the short-lived but memorable NBC series Aisheed. Baker passed away on May 7, 2025, at the age of 89. His family did not disclose the cause of death. Despite a quiet final decade in retirement, Baker left behind a legacy of gritty performances and memorable characters that defined a generation of American cinema. He is survived by extended family in Texas. Samuel French was a gifted American actor born on January 26, 1980, in Waco, Texas. Known for his emotional depth and quiet intensity, French built a solid career with memorable roles in both television and film. He made his screen debut in the History Channel's Texas Rising, 2015, and went on to appear in shows like Fear the Walking Dead, where he portrayed Ben in a 2020 episode. His breakout film role came in Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, 2023, in which he shared the screen with Robert De Niro as Agent C.J. Robinson. French's final performance was in the upcoming film Towpath, where he played Detective Bernard Crook opposite Eric Roberts. Director Paul Sinecore, a close friend, described him as a fearless and passionate actor whose commitment lit up every frame. Samuel French passed away on May 9, 2025, at the age of 45. The cause of death has not been disclosed. He is survived by his beloved daughter Madison, her mother Melinda Acosta, his parents Thomas and Evelyn, and his brothers Andy and Danny. His loss is deeply felt in the creative community, where his talent and heart left a lasting mark.
Which is the COVID and cancel culture and a lot of stuff that people need to be talking about.
Breaking news. Ellen DeGeneres, a journey through triumph, controversy, and resilience. Ellen DeGeneres was once the queen of daytime television, beloved by millions, adored for her charm, her generosity, and that signature dance down the aisle. But how did one of the most admired women in entertainment go from standing ovations to standing trial in the court of public opinion? What really happened behind the scenes of the Ellen DeGeneres show? Was the controversy the full story, or just the tip of something deeper? And now that the cameras are off and the curtain has closed, what has become of Ellen? Is she quietly rebuilding her life, or planning an unexpected return? Has time healed the wounds from the scandal, or is she still haunted by what happened? For nearly 2 decades, Ellen was a fixture in American households, bringing laughter and lightheartedness each weekday afternoon. But behind the curtain was a life marked by bold milestones, public scrutiny, and a resilience few ever fully understood. Today, we explore her rise, her reckoning, and her road to redemption. But before we begin, we want to hear from you. On a scale of 0 to 100, how would you rate Ellen's impact on the world of entertainment? Do you believe she was misunderstood or rightly held accountable? Let us know in the comments below. After stepping away from the spotlight following the end of her talk show in May 2022, Ellen has been on a journey of reflection and healing. But let's take a step back. Ellen, born on January 26, 1958, in Metairie, Louisiana, first entered the world of comedy in the 1980s, performing stand-up that quickly gained her national attention. Her major breakthrough came in 1986, when she appeared on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, making history as the first female comedian invited for an on-air chat with the legendary host. Ellen's career took off from there, leading to her successful sitcom, Ellen, from 1994 to 1998, which became a cultural milestone when she publicly came out as gay on the show in 1997. This bold move helped pave the way for more open conversations about LGBTQ+ representation in the media. Years later, Ellen made an even bigger mark with her talk show, which began in 2003 and ran for 19 seasons, winning 64 daytime Emmys in the process. Though Ellen has retired from the talk show circuit and stand-up comedy, her legacy as a groundbreaking figure in entertainment remains intact. From her bold decision to come out in 1997 to her advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights and animal welfare, Ellen has left an indelible mark on the industry. Yet, despite all her success, Ellen faced a tremendous fall from grace in 2020 when BuzzFeed News published a report accusing her show of fostering a toxic work environment. Anonymous staff members claimed they had experienced mistreatment, racial microaggressions, and harsh working conditions. The allegations painted a stark contrast to the image of kindness Ellen had cultivated over the years. So, what happened next? In response to the accusations, Warner Media launched an internal investigation, which led to the dismissal of several top producers from the show. Ellen herself issued public apologies, admitting that the show's issues needed to be addressed, though she denied that she had any direct involvement in the alleged mistreatment. Despite her apologies, the damage had been done, and the once beloved Queen of Nice was now facing the harsh reality of public backlash. Ellen made the difficult decision to end her talk show in 2022, citing that the creative challenge had diminished after so many years on air. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "When you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged." While she did not directly attribute the end of the show to the controversy, it certainly contributed to the weight of her decision. As she signed off for the final time, Ellen welcomed back her first-ever guest, Jennifer Aniston, in an emotional farewell episode. So, where is Ellen now? After stepping away from Hollywood, Ellen took time to focus on herself and her family, particularly her wife, actress Portia de Rossi. During a Q&A session in April 2024, following a stand-up performance, Ellen shared how difficult the transition had been for her. "It was devastating," she admitted. "I didn't leave the house for a while. The accusations hit me hard, and it took a long time to feel like myself again." Yet Ellen's story is one of resilience. In her 2024 Netflix comedy special, Ellen DeGeneres for Your Approval, she candidly addressed the scandal while mixing in her signature humor. "I got kicked out of show business for being mean," she joked, reflecting on the allegations. "This is my second strike. First, I was kicked out for being gay, now for being mean. Eventually, they'll kick me out for being old. Mean, old, and gay, the triple crown." While the Netflix special is her last, Ellen has not completely left the stage. Earlier in 2024, she embarked on her Ellen's Last Stand Up tour, performing across the country and giving fans a final taste of her stand-up comedy. During her shows, Ellen opened up about the impact of the backlash, saying, "It was a tsunami of emotions. For someone who thrives on making people happy, it was tough to hear that I had hurt so many." Despite the pain, Ellen found healing through humor, and the laughter of her fans has been a source of comfort. Ellen also shared that her relationship with Portia played a crucial role in helping her navigate the difficult times. "Portia never left my side," she said during one of her performances. "She reminded me of who I am and the good I've done. She told me I had to face it head on, and that's what I did." The couple, who married in 2008, continue to support each other both personally and professionally. What's next for Ellen? While she has expressed no desire to return to the spotlight, she remains passionate about her charitable work. With the success of her Netflix special, Ellen has confirmed that she's ready to step back and enjoy a quieter life with Portia, their animals, and their close-knit group of friends. "This is the last time you'll see me on stage," she told fans during her tour. "I'm happy, I'm content, and I'm grateful for everything." Ellen DeGeneres may no longer be the queen of daytime TV, but her influence continues to be felt. Her journey from a stand-up comedian to a global icon, followed by her public fall and eventual comeback, is a testament to her resilience. Ellen's story reminds us all that even in moments of adversity, it is possible to rebuild and find new purpose. In fact, some of her most memorable moments continue to live on through the stories of those who knew her best, including former First Lady Michelle Obama. In a recent episode of Good Hang with Amy Poehler, Michelle looked back fondly on her appearances on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, especially one unforgettable moment, a push-up contest in 2012. "I did more push-ups than her," Michelle recalled with a laugh. "But she still says I didn't go down all the way." With playful banter, Michelle explained that her long arms make a full push-up a challenge, and Ellen, ever the comic, never let her forget it. That moment, one of many shared between two powerful women, embodies what Ellen brought to millions: joy, laughter, and a space where even icons could be human. It was a reminder that Ellen's impact goes far beyond controversy. It reaches into the fabric of American pop culture, one push-up, one joke, and one story at a time. What are your thoughts on Ellen's incredible journey? Has her story touched or inspired you in any way? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Jill Sobule, a beloved singer-songwriter and cultural trailblazer, was born in Denver in 1959 and found her voice through music that spoke to the heart and spirit of a changing America. Known for her wit, honesty, and fearless creativity, Jill touched countless lives with her songs, most famously with her 1995 hit, "I Kissed a Girl," widely recognized as one of the first openly queer-themed tracks to reach the Billboard Top 20. But her legacy goes far beyond one song. Her music explored deeply human stories, from adolescent struggles to societal divides, always delivered with grace, humor, and compassion. Jill's anthem "Supermodel," featured in the cult classic film Clueless, became a generational favorite, and in later years, she channeled her life story into the off-Broadway musical FCK 7th Grade, earning critical acclaim and 4 theatrical runs. Jill's journey was not without challenges. She navigated a music industry that didn't always understand her depth or daring, but she stayed true to her voice. After the loss of her father and other personal hardships, she briefly stepped back, only to return with renewed purpose. Her later albums, crowdfunded directly by fans, were a testament to her lasting connection with listeners. On May 1, 2024, while staying with friends in Minneapolis, Jill was tragically lost in a house fire. Investigators continue to review the cause, and a memorial is being planned to honor her remarkable life. Jill Sobule will be remembered not only for her songs, but for her courage, her kindness, and her unwavering belief in being fully, unapologetically oneself. Her music lives on, a joyful, honest soundtrack for those still finding their way. Rosanna Norton, a cherished name in the world of film costume design, brought a painter's eye and a storyteller's soul to the silver screen. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Rosanna initially pursued painting at UCLA, but her path changed when she discovered a gift for designing costumes that brought characters to life in unforgettable ways. Her earliest work includes the haunting imagery of Carrie, 1976, where she created the now iconic prom dress for Sissy Spacek, a simple bias-cut gown that symbolized innocence and contrast. She found beauty in simplicity and power in subtle details, often working with limited resources but achieving timeless impact. Her visionary talent earned her an Academy Award nomination for her groundbreaking work on the science fiction classic Tron, 1982, where she shared credit with Elois Jensen. Over a 4-decade career, Rosanna's artistry shaped the visual language of films like Badlands, The Stuntman, Airplane, Inner Space, and The Flintstones. Her collaborations with legendary directors, including Terrence Malick, Brian De Palma, and Joe Dante, showcased her remarkable ability to adapt across genres, from suspense and sci-fi to comedy and fantasy. Rosanna was not only a gifted artist, but a generous mentor, nurturing the next generation of designers through the Costume Designers Guild, which she joined in 1975. Even after retiring from film, she returned to painting, her first creative love, continuing to express the colors and textures that once lit up movie screens. On May 7, 2025, Rosanna passed peacefully at her Los Angeles home, surrounded by family, after facing cancer with grace and resilience. She leaves behind a legacy woven with creativity, dedication, and elegance, a life stitched into the fabric of Hollywood history. Pete Rose was more than a baseball player. He was a force of nature on the field. Born with a fierce competitive spirit, he rose from Cincinnati's working-class neighborhoods to become Major League Baseball's all-time hits leader, racking up 4,256 hits in a career that spanned over 2 decades. He played every game like it was his last, sprinting to first base on walks and diving headfirst into history. Nicknamed Charlie Hustle, Pete's grit and passion captured the heart of a nation. From the Big Red Machine to his time as player-manager, he embodied a style of play that was relentless, old school, and deeply respected. Fans remember him for the way he fought for every base, every win, always with his heart on his sleeve. Pete's story, however, wasn't without controversy. In 1989, he faced a permanent ban from baseball following an investigation into his gambling while managing the Reds. That decision overshadowed his playing legacy for years. But in 2025, Major League Baseball made a historic decision to lift his ineligibility posthumously, paving the way for Hall of Fame consideration. Pete passed away on September 30, 2024, at the age of 83. His final days were spent surrounded by family and former teammates, with his legacy still stirring strong feelings in fans and fellow players alike. For his daughter Fawn and so many others, the news of his reinstatement brought bittersweet relief, a long-awaited recognition of the player he was. Whether or not the Hall of Fame ever welcomes him, Pete Rose remains one of the most unforgettable figures in the history of the game. His hustle, his heart, and his records will live on in baseball's story forever. Olivia Hussey was just 15 years old when she stepped into the role that would forever define her in the hearts of audiences around the world. Juliet, in Franco Zeffirelli's stunning 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. With grace beyond her years, she brought Shakespeare's heroine to life with a depth and innocence that captivated an entire generation. That performance earned her a Golden Globe and left a mark on cinema history that still echoes today. Born in Buenos Aires and raised in London, Olivia studied drama from a young age. Her stage presence caught the eye of Zeffirelli, who cast her in the film that would launch her global career. She went on to portray Mary in Jesus of Nazareth, 1977, and starred in cult classics like Black Christmas and Death on the Nile, always bringing beauty, vulnerability, and quiet strength to every role. Throughout her life, Olivia faced personal and professional challenges, including a battle with breast cancer that she first confronted in 2008. Yet through it all, she remained a radiant presence, generous, grounded, and deeply spiritual. Her final performances reflected a woman who had lived through much and who still saw the world with wonder. On December 27, 2024, Olivia passed away peacefully at home in Los Angeles, surrounded by loved ones. She was 73. Her legacy lives not only in film reels and theater stages, but in the hearts of those who saw her not just as Juliet, but as a woman of rare talent and enduring grace. Barbara Rush, a luminous presence of 1950s Hollywood and a cherished figure on stage and screen, passed away peacefully on March 31, 2024, at the age of 97. Her daughter, Fox News correspondent Claudia Cowan, confirmed her passing, noting that Rush died on Easter Sunday, a day that held deep personal meaning for her. She had long battled dementia. Born on January 4, 1927, in Denver, Colorado, Barbara moved often in childhood before her family settled in Santa Barbara. There, a school play sparked a love for acting that led her to the Pasadena Playhouse and, eventually, to a film contract with Paramount in 1950. That same year, she made her screen debut in The Goldbergs and quickly emerged as a rising star. Her breakout role came in It Came from Outer Space, 1953, earning her a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer. She went on to star alongside cinematic legends, Paul Newman in The Young Philadelphians, Marlon Brando in The Young Lions, and Frank Sinatra in Robin and the Seven Hoods. Later, she became a familiar face in American households through her work on television in Peyton Place, All My Children, and Seventh Heaven. Barbara defied the industry's ageist norms, transitioning gracefully from ingenue to seasoned character actress. There used to be this terrible Sahara Desert between 40 and 60, she once joked, but her career never dried up. She captivated audiences in stage productions like Same Time, Next Year, Steel Magnolias, and her solo show A Woman of Independent Means. Remembered as one of the last links to classic Hollywood, Barbara Rush leaves behind a body of work that spans generations and genres. Her grace, wit, and enduring screen presence will continue to inspire and enchant audiences for years to come. Eric Carmen, whose soaring ballads and Beatles-inspired pop helped define a generation of emotional songwriting, passed away in his sleep over the weekend of March 9, 2024, at the age of 74. His wife, Amy Carmen, shared the news through a heartfelt message on his official website. No cause of death was given. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, on August 11, 1949, Carmen displayed prodigious musical talent from a young age. A classically trained pianist and violinist, he found early inspiration in the British invasion bands, especially the Beatles. That love of melody and harmony would shape his work as lead singer and principal songwriter of the Raspberries, a band that stood out in the early 1970s with their crisp suits, jangly guitars, and unapologetically romantic lyrics. The Raspberries' debut single, Go All the Way, pushed the boundaries of pop radio with its suggestive lyrics and bold sound. Though the band's tenure was brief, their influence reverberated for decades, praised by artists from Bruce Springsteen to Kurt Cobain. Carmen's ability to blend raw rock energy with tender vulnerability set him apart. After the Raspberries disbanded, Carmen's solo career soared with timeless hits like All by Myself, Never Gonna Fall in Love Again, and Hungry Eyes from Dirty Dancing. His voice, plaintive, powerful, unmistakable, became a staple of film soundtracks and emotional moments across generations. Though he stepped back from the spotlight in his later years, Carmen's music continued to find new life. His songs, rediscovered in films like Guardians of the Galaxy and covered by legends like Celine Dion. Eric Carmen leaves behind not just melodies but memories of heartbreak, yearning, and the simple beauty of a well-crafted song. His music was and remains faithful and forever. Charles Shyer, the Oscar-nominated writer and director whose heartfelt comedies like Father of the Bride and Private Benjamin defined modern romance on screen, passed away on March 29, 2024, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after a brief illness. He was 83. His daughter, filmmaker Hallie Myers Shyer, confirmed his passing. Born October 11, 1941, in Los Angeles, Shyer grew up in the shadow of the film industry. His father, Melville Shyer, was a founding member of the Directors Guild of America, and Charles would follow in his footsteps. After graduating from UCLA, he began as a writer on classic sitcoms like The Odd Couple and Happy Days, eventually co-writing the blockbuster Smokey and the Bandit, 1977, launching his film career. His creative breakthrough came with Private Benjamin, 1980, co-written with Nancy Myers and Harvey Miller. The screenplay earned the trio an Oscar nomination and catapulted Shyer and Myers into the spotlight as a powerhouse writing-directing duo. Over the next 2 decades, they created some of Hollywood's most enduring romantic comedies: Baby Boom, Irreconcilable Differences, and most famously, the beloved 1991 remake of Father of the Bride starring Steve Martin and Diane Keaton, followed by its 1995 sequel. Shyer's eye for comedic timing and emotional nuance shaped the tone of American rom-coms in the 80s and 90s. His films, often centered on love, family, and reinvention, struck a chord with audiences worldwide. In his final years, Shyer remained active, directing The Knoll Diary for Netflix in 2022 and supporting his daughter Hallie's own rise as a writer-director. He is survived by daughters Hallie and Annie and twins Jacob and Sophia. Charles Shyer leaves behind a legacy of laughter, warmth, and cinematic joy, a storyteller whose characters felt like family and whose films still make us believe in happy endings. Kirk Medas, known for his charisma and loyalty as a core cast member of MTV's Floribama Shore, passed away on May 3, 2025, in Miami, Florida, at the age of 33. His death was confirmed by MTV, who described him as a beloved member of the Floribama Shore family. The cause was complications from liver failure following a severe case of necrotizing pancreatitis. He had been hospitalized in the ICU for over 2 weeks. Born in Georgia in 1991, Medas gained national attention with his debut on Floribama Shore in 2017. Across 4 seasons, he brought humor, heart, and a grounded energy to the group's often chaotic adventures. His presence stood out not just for his one-liners and dance moves, but for the empathy and loyalty he showed his castmates, many of whom became lifelong friends. Outside the show, Medas was a self-proclaimed sports fanatic and worked as a sportsbook consultant. He remained connected with fans through social media and occasional television appearances, including Fear Factor and How Far Is Tattoo Far. His off-screen friendships, especially with Nilsa Prowant and Amy Hall, were well known, and both women remained at his side during his final days. Following his sudden hospitalization, a GoFundMe was launched by his family to help with mounting medical costs, as Medas did not have health insurance. The campaign drew support from thousands of fans and fellow reality stars, a testament to the impact he made in just a few short years in the spotlight. Kirk Medas leaves behind not only a reality TV legacy, but the memory of a young man whose warmth, humor, and loyalty touched everyone lucky enough to know him. Did you watch Kirk during his time on Floribama Shore? What moment of his made you laugh or moved you most? Share your favorite memories below.
Why can't I be answered too?
Sophie Nyweide, once hailed as a rising child star in films like Mammoth and An Invisible Sign, left the world far too early at just 24. Her journey ended on April 14, 2025, in Vermont, as authorities continue to examine the circumstances surrounding what may have been a case of self-medication gone tragically wrong. She was expecting a child. From the moment she stepped onto a film set at age 6, Sophie possessed a quiet magnetism. She had begged her mother, herself a former actress, for a chance to perform, and soon found herself acting alongside Michelle Williams, Jessica Alba, and Russell Crowe. Her performance in An Invisible Sign showed rare nuance for someone so young. But behind that early success was a girl navigating both personal pain and the difficult terrain of growing up under a spotlight that faded all too fast. After her early breakout roles, Sophie's acting career slowly stalled. Industry changes, her growing anxiety, and the challenge of transitioning from child star to adult actress left her increasingly isolated from the work she once loved. Her final credited appearance came in 2015, a hidden camera show, far from the thoughtful scripts she once cherished. She turned to writing and drawing as outlets. Her family describes her notebooks as maps of internal struggle, full of both beauty and sorrow. Therapists, friends, and even law enforcement offered support over the years, but Sophie often chose to carry her burdens alone, insisting she could manage. She seemed happiest on a movie set, her obituary reads. It was a safe place for her. That safety, however, grew harder to find. Sophie leaves behind a legacy not only of poignant film roles, but of vulnerability, artistic passion, and emotional truth. Her story is one of talent, yes, but also of how sensitive souls can sometimes lose their footing in a world too sharp, too fast. In her memory, her family encourages support for RAIN, the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. Let Sophie's story remind us to look deeper, ask kinder questions, and protect those who carry pain behind their smiles. Dayle Haddon, the Canadian-born model, actress, author, and humanitarian who redefined beauty standards across decades, died unexpectedly on December 27, 2024, at the age of 76. Authorities confirmed the cause as suspected carbon monoxide poisoning due to a faulty heating system at her daughter's Pennsylvania home. Her passing was later confirmed by her daughter, journalist Ryan Haddon, in a touching tribute. Born in Montreal in 1948, Dayle first captivated the world as a ballet dancer before becoming a top model. She graced the covers of Vogue, Elle, and Sports Illustrated and broke barriers as the longtime face of L'Oreal in a campaign that embraced aging with dignity. Her 15-year role as global ambassador for the brand positioned her as a radiant symbol of timeless beauty. Beyond modeling, Dayle built a notable acting career with roles in North Dallas 40, Bullets Over Broadway, and international films such as The Last Romantic Lover. Later in life, she became a UNICEF ambassador and founded Women One, a nonprofit dedicated to girls' education. She authored 2 books, Ageless Beauty and The 5 Principles of Ageless Living, reflecting her enduring mission to empower women at every stage of life. In her final days, Dayle continued to speak against ageism, most recently appearing on a podcast to share her insights with younger generations. "Every age has gifts to give us," she said, words now echoing with even greater poignancy. Dayle Haddon's legacy lives on in every woman who dares to age boldly, every girl who gains an education because of her advocacy, and every life touched by her generous, luminous spirit. Nathaniel "Nate" Pelletier, cherished by cast and crew of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart, passed away suddenly on April 11, 2025, at the age of 53 in Langley, British Columbia. His unexpected death has left a profound void among friends, colleagues, and fans alike. Known for his warm smile and generous spirit, Nate played a recurring role as a taxi driver on the beloved series, but his contributions extended far beyond the screen. Behind the scenes, he was a pillar of the show's transportation department, always ready to lend a hand and share a laugh. His presence was described as steady, comforting, and deeply rooted in camaraderie. Nate's life was centered around connection, with his daughter Mercedes, whom he proudly called his greatest joy, and with the extended family he found in his When Calls the Heart team. Whether gifting concert tickets to his daughter, writing poems in his unmistakable handwriting, or baking treats for friends, Nate lived with wholehearted kindness. His colleagues remember him as all heart, someone who tackled long production days with infectious energy and unfailing goodwill. Actor Martin Cummins called him a gentle soul and one of the boys, recalling countless hours spent in quiet company and shared work. "The valley will not be the same without Nathaniel," he wrote. Nate's unexpected passing is a reminder of the quiet, meaningful impact one life can have on so many. His open-door hospitality, generous laughter, and care for others left an imprint that will not fade. Were you one of the many hearties lucky enough to meet Nate at a reunion? What moment of his, on screen or behind the scenes, will stay with you? Share your memory and help celebrate a life lived with genuine heart. Breaking news: Sam Elliott. What happens when the world no longer values quiet strength? When every voice fights to be heard, but the one that matters most barely speaks above a whisper? In an age of reinvention and digital fame, how has Sam Elliott, an old soul with a weathered face and a gravel-lined voice, remained one of the most respected men in Hollywood? And more importantly, where is Sam now? Why does his silence still echo louder than most headlines? He never begged for attention. He never chased fame. But somewhere between his first audition and his most recent performance, Sam Elliott became a symbol of the West, of principle, of manhood without ego. He made stillness magnetic. He made restraint unforgettable. Today, we revisit the story of the cowboy who never gave up. But before we begin, we want to know, from 0 to 100, how would you rate Sam Elliott's impact on Hollywood? Which of his roles still lingers in your heart? Let us know in the comments below. Born on August 9, 1944, in Sacramento, California, Sam Elliott was raised in a home where hard work mattered more than dreams. His father, a no-nonsense government worker, believed acting was a foolish ambition. Sam disagreed, but never disrespected. Instead, he watched, he listened, and he carried the weight of that disapproval in silence. When Sam was just 18, his father died of a sudden heart attack. The loss carved a permanent scar, one made deeper by their unresolved tension. "He never got to see any of this," Sam would later say. "He never knew I could make something of myself doing this." Long before his name graced marquees, Sam was working construction, pouring concrete under the California sun. He studied at the University of Oregon, then transferred to Clark College in Washington, where a glowing theater review dared him to think bigger. And so, with little more than a toolbox and a quiet dream, he drove to Los Angeles. Unlike many aspiring actors, Sam refused to glamorize the struggle. He did not wait tables, he dug ditches, he didn't chase shortcuts, he built them. And when he wasn't on job sites, he was auditioning for small roles, paying attention to what others ignored: presence, posture, silence. His first roles were forgettable: a nameless card player in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, faceless extras in TV dramas. But even in the background, there was something about Sam that lingered. He did not perform. He inhabited. Then came Lifeguard, 1976, the film that allowed the world to see what Sam's friends already knew. Beneath the mustache and the stillness was a man capable of carrying real weight. He was not flashy, but he was real, and real was rare. His love story with actress Catherine Ross began not on screen, but off, nearly a decade after they both appeared in Butch Cassidy. By the time they filmed The Legacy, 1978, something had shifted. Despite Ross's high-profile past and Hollywood's whispers, Sam stayed steady. They married in 1984 and never looked back. Their bond wasn't built on publicity, it was built on trust. Catherine believed in Sam even when Hollywood didn't. She pushed him to audition for Mask, a film he'd initially passed on. And that role, opposite Cher and Eric Stoltz, became a turning point. As Gar, the biker with a soft center, Sam proved that masculinity could have compassion. Critics called him the film's soul. But Elliott wasn't interested in capitalizing on fame. He turned down roles that felt hollow. He disappeared when the offers weren't right. He reemerged only when the work demanded integrity. In films like Tombstone, Gettysburg, and The Big Lebowski, Sam didn't just play characters. He created icons. He showed us that grit could coexist with grace, that the quietest man in the room might carry the heaviest past. Then, in 2022, Sam found himself in unfamiliar territory: controversy. After criticizing The Power of the Dog for its portrayal of the West, his remarks sparked backlash. To some, he sounded out of touch. To others, he was defending something sacred. Rather than hide, Sam addressed it. Publicly, he offered an apology, not to erase his views, but to acknowledge the pain they caused. "I wasn't trying to hurt anyone," he said. And in that moment, even his critics had to pause. Because that's the thing about Sam. When he speaks, you listen. That same year, Elliott gave what many consider his finest performance to date, as Shea Brennan in 1883. A man burdened by grief, leading families westward through tragedy and terrain, Brennan was a character that mirrored Elliott's soul. The role earned him critical acclaim, but more importantly, it reminded audiences of what Sam does best. He makes pain noble. So where is Sam Elliott now? He's not chasing relevance. He never did. He's at home with Catherine, riding horses, writing letters, staying connected to a world that rarely slows down. He appears on screen when it matters, not when it's convenient. And when he speaks, it still sounds like the West leaning in. Crew members say he still sends handwritten thank you notes. Co-stars say he stays late to thank background extras. He mentors younger actors, not with lectures, but with presence. In a town obsessed with spotlight, Sam brings shade. He has aged with intention. His voice, deeper now, feels carved by time. His walk is slower, but his presence is heavier. And in an era that rewards noise, he remains proof that quiet is still powerful. Sam Elliott's legacy isn't just in roles, it's in restraint, in humility, in that rare, quiet courage that no camera can manufacture. Because Sam never played the hero, he became one. What does Sam Elliott mean to you? Which of his performances still speaks to your heart? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear how this cowboy left his mark on your life.